This is the topic I get the most questions about: food. What do we eat? I was just told by my doctor that I am now a diabetic. What do I eat? What do I put in my body? Because I'm so used to eating things that I'm finding out it's not really good for me. So what do I do? Do I Google it? Do I read books? What? I'm drowning. It seems like I can't get anybody to help me, or anybody that really understand what true nutrition is. Everybody has an idea. Everybody has an opinion. But when it comes to understanding nutrition for a diabetic, what do I do? What do I eat? Can I eat normal stuff? Can I keep going to my fast food restaurant? Can I keep going to the buffets? Can I keep eating candy bars and chips and hot dogs and all kind of junk? Can I? Because to me, it's not really junk, because I love what I'm eating. What do I do to change some things that I'm doing? What do I need to do to change me? Is it a mindset thing? How often do I need to change what I'm eating? Well, going to my doctor, I'm sure I felt just like you at one time when I had to go sit down and talk to my diabetic doctor and to listen to things that he explained to me that was going on to my body. Then they sent me to a nutritionist, and that was really, as I think about it now, that was really a joke and a laugh, because the nutritionist didn't really know what I thought they knew. How many times have you went to somebody that thought, or you thought they knew what they knew, and you wind up knowing more than them? It's kind of sad, but it happens every day. Well, the nutritionist was telling me things that I could eat, and now you got to understand, if you were like me, you're eating, let's say, grapes, and you have a blood sugar that's over 200, and you're taking your medication, but your blood sugar seems to never go down. Well, if I'm taking my blood sugar medicine and I'm keep eating sugar and more junk with carbs and stuff that I overload in my system, I'm going to have nothing but a problem. That's what I was facing. I thought, just like you, that I could eat whatever, long as I was taking my medicine. Well, found out that I was really wrong with that thought, because the medicine was helping me, but I was killing myself all in the same time. So you might say, what do I eat then? I don't want to be a rabbit. I got to eat something. Well, you don't see any fat rabbits, do you? There's plenty of food that you can eat. You can have a plant-based diet, which means no meat, no dairy, no oil, no salt, no sugar. Or you can continue to eat like you're eating, but change some things that you're doing. Because everybody is not going to be a no eat, no meat, no sugar, no salt, no oil person. So what do you need to do? Well, the first thing you need to do is understand food is not the enemy. Food is actually your friend. Some of us use food as a comfort, but it's really not a comfort, because that comfort is something we have relied on, and that's we relied on that comfort. It has caused us to have major health problems. Now, your health problems, if you look at it, some of us are overweight, some of us got high blood pressure, some of us got diabetes, some of us caused cancer, some of us caused prostate issues. It's caused all kind of problems. But how do we deal with it? What do we change? What do we eat? That's always the question when I'm asked. A good nutritious meal 3 to 5, 6 times a day. It's not complicated, because you'll learn how to control your diabetes and your blood sugar, as some of us call it, to make you feel better. Well, I could just hear someone in the room just said, well, but can I not have what I want to have when I want it? Well, the answer to that is no. Because I would tell you in moderation, but how many of us realize in moderation we don't do anything in moderation? We continue to eat what we are not supposed to eat, and when we eat it, it causes all kind of problem. Being a former diabetic, I understand. I understand the pain. I understand walking. I understand the neuropathy in my hands. I understand the tingling in my feet. I understand it seemed like I could never get enough to eat or drink. And I understand I just lost weight for no reason. I thought I was looking good. But you know what? It has a lot to do with food. Somebody might say, well, how does losing weight has to do with food? Because as a diabetic, the way your pancreas operates, it changes the whole molecular structure of your body. But we're talking about food. What do I eat? Why do I have to give up my ice cream? Why do I have to give up my Cokes? Why do I have to give up my tea? Why do I have to give up foods that I'm comfortable with and I just love? Well, if you really look at the foods that you're eating, especially the ingredients of those foods actually is causing you more harm than good. I know it might seem like it's good for you, and some things that taste good is not good. We've had stuff in our life that's just really great for us, but when you actually eat it, it actually causes harm. So it's almost like eating something that looks good, a pretty flower. The flower looks wonderful, it smells good, but if you bite into the leaf or the bud, it's poison. That's the way food is to us. Well, food. With all these restaurants around, it can be a hard choice. And the choice sometimes seems overbearing because everywhere you look, it seems your favorite dish is there. Those words, you are a diabetic or you're pre-diabetic, well, you need to just relax and change some of the things you're eating. Have you heard that before? That's easier said than done. But if you look at it, changing some things that you're eating, what do we need to change? We need to make goals of what we're going to eat. We have to make little projects because you understand, you didn't get to the point where you're at today by just arriving. You had to get to this point. Something got you to the point where you did not worry about or you didn't give much doubt into why your health was going the way it went. Well, no one ever thinks they're going to get sick. Nobody ever thought they would get diabetes because I can remember in the time when they used to think about it, it was an old person's disease or just somebody got disease. That's what they used to say when I was a little boy. Oh, they just got the sugar. They're going to be all right. Well, they wasn't going to be all right. They died after that soon. But you don't have to die because with the food control change and the lifestyle change and some exercise involved, not much, maybe a little walking, nothing strenuous because, a lot of us are not going to do much strenuous other than lift a remote control. We got to quit doing that because you got to learn how to enjoy yourself and enjoy some good, wholesome food. If you do like chicken, that's what you're going to eat. But you're going to eat it in a way that's nutritious. It's really not much nutritious about it, but it is nutritious to you. You got, as you want to call it, your protein. You can get the same proteins in vegetables, but since you want that, you can have it, but you can't dress it up in a gravy and all kind of sauces that we do when we mess up our food. And then you're looking at the fruits. Oh, as a diabetic, that's the hardest thing I had to learn. I had to learn about food, but understand how food worked with the glycemic index. And you might say, the glycemic index, well, what is the glycemic index? I hear that word and that term all the time, but for some reason, it just goes right over my head. The glycemic index, it measures the probability how food will spike your blood sugar. You say, well, how is it going to spike it? Well, what it does, it reads it. It knows if you might eat something, let's say brown rice, and the scale on spiking is 65 and above. And let's say the brown rice comes in at 65. Your sugar is going to be spiked. Or you might have something else that might spike it to 100. That means your bloodstream breaks that carbohydrate down into a sugar, and that sugar elevates you. Now, can you learn what foods are good for you? Sure. There are some foods that you already know that's good for you and you enjoy eating, and they're not bad. But the problem comes with that type of issue is we put stuff on good food that's bad for us. Did you hear what I said? We put things on good food that's bad for us. We'll add a salt. We'll add pepper, the wrong kind. We'll add oils and grease and fat. We'll turn a normal meal into a disastrous meal because we have to have that taste. We have to have what we see before us. Well, a lot of times that actually gets us in trouble. But you still haven't told me my food choices. Well, everybody's food choices is totally different. But the basic stuff that I always talk about with diabetes and diabetics is fruits first. I know we like all type of fruits, the mangoes, the honeydew melon, the watermelon, the cantaloupe. We like the grapes. We like the pears, the peaches. We like the bananas. We like the persimmons. We like all those. But, in actuality, there are some of those that we can't eat at the moment because it elevates or it spikes your blood sugar. And when you're dealing with a fruit that's sweet, you need to not buy them or eat them at the present moment, because until you get your diabetes under control and your body and your pancreas can handle it, you need to avoid it. Well, you say, well, what fruits can I have then? You know what? The only fruit that I recommend, a couple really, is a good Gala apple, a good pear, and a ruby red or a red grapefruit, something like that. Anything else other than those three, as far as fruits, well, you could have some raspberry, blackberries, some cherries, the cherries with the seed in though. Not the sun-dried, not the dried, not the water pack, but the kinds that are natural. See, what happens is we get the fruits that has sugar in it because we're trying to replace a sugar craving. And we do replace the sugar craving, but we replace it with the wrong type of sugars, the wrong types of foods. Well, but I was under the impression that I could eat those as long as I took my medication. Well, let me ask you a question. Just imagine you've been on medication for a year or 5 years. Have you been able to get off of it? I didn't think so. And the reason is because it affects your blood. Plant-based or eating healthy, we often have to look at the nutritional density of what we're eating. How good is it for us? You know, sometimes when you're looking at being a diabetic and you're still trying to decide what foods are good for you, what foods are going to make you feel good, sometimes we have to just basically look at unlimited vegetables that we can eat. Just like green vegetables. That could be kale, that could be collards, that could be broccoli, that could be cucumbers, that could be celery. Green, leafy, green food vegetables are your choice. All raw, if you can handle it, your choice. No starch, cooked vegetable. Sometimes we can take a real good vegetable, starch it up, cook it, and mess it all the way up. Fresh fruit. Fresh fruit is always a good one. But understand, the ones that spike your blood sugar at the present time, you need to not worry about them at all because they're going to cause you a problem. And then you're going to have the beans and legumes. You can eat them as much as you want. You know, they're not going to really cause a weight problem because, number one, they are a good carbohydrate, a good bean, but it's from Mother Earth. So it's nothing on that beans and legumes to cause you problems. But now, if you dress it up with some stuff that's not right, you can mess it up. So those type of foods, you can eat all you want, as long as you want, when you want, and have a good time. Except for if you dress it up with nuts and stuff, you can't do that. You can do it without the nuts. Then you got your limited daily. A while ago, I was talking about the unlimited. That now you're going to have the limited daily of stuff you can have. Cooked and starchy vegetables, whole grains, and raw nuts and seeds. I explained that a while ago. You don't want to get caught up in eating more raw nuts and putting on more weight, because it's amazing if you realize a pound of the wrong type of foods is 4,000 calories. Let's say oil. A pound of olive oil is 4,000 calories. We didn't get to the fat. But a pound of broccoli heads is 128 calories. But the problem with that is you can eat 10,000 calories in a day, but you can't eat 150, 120, 130 with broccoli. You can't eat it because your body recognizes nutrients and it loves you and it loves it for it. Then there are some things that you should really limit weekly and not have them as often as you have them. Eggs. If you really knew what the egg come from, the question is, did the chicken come from the egg or the egg come from the chicken? Now I want to ask you this question here. If the chicken came first from the egg, who produced the egg? Because don't a chicken from a rooster have to be fertilized? I just want you to think about it. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? That's when it comes to like dealing with diabetes. What comes first? Optimum health or an insulin syringe taking your blood sugar? You got the choice to make. You can change everything about you immediately. Then we have the rarely refined grains, whole fat dairy, cheese, refined oil, and sweets. Yeah, I can hear somebody just said, man, you just took everything I like away. But you know what? What's more important to you? Living or dying? I thought so. It's nothing like life. Because I haven't never met anyone that's left this earth and came back and can talk to me about what they seen on the other side. I know there's a lot of people say they have seen the other side, but I can't see it. But who am I to say what somebody didn't see? But when you look at the fruits and the vegetables, the kale, the chard, the dinosaur kale, then you got the red, the green, the yellow bell peppers, then you got the purple zucchini, then you got the purple squash. You got all these vegetables, then you got the apples, then you got the oranges, then you got the ginger, then you got the sweet potatoes, then you got the white potatoes. You got all these foods in the store waiting on you to decide what kind of change you're going to make. And the change is not complicated. It's just giving up some things that we've got accustomed to. And our custom has got us in trouble because now the custom is going to sleep and we still got the problem. A custom. Being raised a certain way, to eat a certain way. And when we realize that what we've been eating a certain way is actually causing us more harm than good, then we want to get mad or upset at the person that introduced us to it. Well, the person introduced you to it might not understand really what you're going through. Because there are situations in life that you're going to go through some things and the person you explain it to have no idea what you're talking about. They might nod, they might shake their head in agreement, but in actuality, they don't know who they're talking to. So the bottom line is, what changes are you willing to do? What foods are you willing to give up? You know, there's nothing like a good meal, but then there's nothing like a wrong good meal. So, you know, you might thinking, I'm gonna spend more money eating healthier than non-healthy. Well, I got some good news for you. I got some fantastic news for you. In actuality, when you go raw vegan, you're going to actually save more money than you did before because you're going to be at a requirement where you don't have to have all that food to enjoy life. That's what it's all about. Having a peaceful and enjoyable life and doing the things you want to do when you want to do them, but do them in moderation with peace. See, we don't do anything in moderation. We want to do everything in a grand slam, in a grand style. And normally that brings trouble that we don't need and we shouldn't want. But when you start thinking about it, food, what do I eat? I don't want to lose all my weight, but what do I eat to change what I'm doing? Is it really complicated to be a new person? Is it really complicated to understand that I can be whatever I want to be? If you believe that, believe it. Believe it that it's happening at this moment. Believe it at this moment that everything that you're trying to do has changed at this moment. And you're going to come out a better person. Is the change going to be simple? No. Is it going to be hard? No. Can it be followed? Yes. Do you want to follow? That's the question. Do you want to put the time in that's required to do and be successful at what you're doing? See, we put a lot of emphasis on stuff that really don't matter, people that don't matter, things that don't matter. But the things that most important and matters the most to you should matter. It shouldn't be a problem being able to pull them off the top of your head and say what's on your mind. That's when you know you're connecting. That's when you know you're doing the things that you're supposed to do. But does that mean if I don't connect, the person don't care for me? No. It just, everybody's body is different. Some people can put on a nice watch, and because they have so much energy in their body, the body stops the watch. You come around with a Timex, keep on ticking and keep on licking, and put it on their hand, and it stops too. So is it the watches or the arm? So just little things like that you have to check out to see what's really going on, what's causing you the problems, and how do we change it? Change it, you say? Change is good. But I know some people don't want to change because we have got so comfortable in our status. We would blame it on God. So God done bought me this far, he'll keep me a little longer. In time, he will. But you have to position yourself to be able to do things that you want. And you might say, is it complicated? Only if you want it to be complicated. It's not really at all. It's making choices for yourself and for 4 other people. And I can tell you one thing. Those 4 things you got to change, your mind and your soul and your things you got to do, they're not complicated. You just got to want to do them. That's sugar. We must change how we think about consuming food, and what we're thinking about sometimes is how food really affects us. When you look at it, I often read the book, but Dr. Dean Ornish talked about heart disease and reversing heart disease. You know, if you look at it, it's a cardiovascular situation. Also, it's particularly with heart disease and diabetes. When he was talking about possibly reversing high blood pressure and heart disease with food, you can do the same thing with diabetes. But the thing about it is you have to decide when and how and what you're going to do to make this happen. So the change is not going to be always simple. Sometimes it's going to be a little complicated, but I'm not advocating that you totally leave all of the bad foods alone. As far as what you is considered meat, that's to me a bad food, but just modify how you eat it, or don't eat it as much as you normally would eat it. What I advocate is adding more green vegetables to your diet. Kale, broccoli, zucchini, stuff like that, carrots, things that's going to make you live. I know sometimes the people that's not diabetic don't really understand food. They assume that it seems all right, but we're talking about reversal. When I talk about reversing heart disease and diabetes especially, when you look at reversing heart disease with Dr. Caldwell Edelson Jr., when he talked about reversing heart disease, he talked about a plant-based diet, changing what you're doing. And a lot of times we have to take the body back down to a plant-based. Plant-based means no oil, no salt, no sugar, nothing animal-based at all, nothing processed, because the process is what got us in trouble in the first place, because we go back to the lifestyle. And the lifestyle that we leads us into a problem of no return. You might say, well, how did my lifestyle put me that way? Well, the lifestyle that you lead. Everything that we do as eating wise as a diabetic, we grab it on the fly, on the run, regardless of where. It can be at the airport. It could be jogging. We'll stop and grab something we know not good for us. We're thinking this energy in actuality is actually causing us problem. It's a quick mark. It's a fast food restaurant. It's anything that's fast that's causing us. It's a processed item. Remember, if it's processed, means it's not prepared by you. Yeah, you might say, well, I bought it and I prepared. No, it's already prepared. All you got to do is warm it up and eat it, or cook it for 5 seconds and it's done. I'm talking about you're getting leafy green vegetables. You're making you a nice salad. You're getting beans and soaking them, making you a nice, holistic, whole grain food. Holistic does not mean religion. It's that you're taking the food in its whole form and enjoying them. I know sometimes that seems kind of complicated, but when you look at it for a second, you have to incorporate all this stuff in your life. Because when T. Colin Campbell in the China study talks about where cancer and diabetes and all this stuff actually originates from, when you look at how meat is causing such a havoc and milk part of our lives, it's just wrecking our lives. And we're thinking we're getting the best possible nutrients, and a lot of the nutrients that we're eating is actually causing us to have problems. So we must look at ways to change what we're doing and how we're doing it. Well, you might ask yourself, well, what do I need to do to change small things, what I'm doing? You have to decide you're going to do it. Once you make those decisions, we have to kickstart this in gear. You have to make those goals on food. Remember, you're not going to quit eating something you've been eating all your life and you've got accustomed to. It's not going to happen overnight. But we're going to create gradual baby steps, incorporate food into your life that you're not used to eating, or you are used to eating, but we're going to cook it a different format and way. There's nothing wrong with having a salad twice a day. It's nothing wrong having greens There's nothing wrong with having bento beans, black beans, red beans, garbanzo beans, chickpeas, black-eyed peas. There's nothing wrong with having that kind of food. There's nothing wrong with having spaghetti but made out of pasta with spaghetti squash. It's nothing wrong with having some brown rice pasta, some brown rice, and some mixed vegetables. See, what we are looking at, and what you have to realize, you're looking for ways to overcome diabetes and reverse it. You're looking for ways with food that you can change the outcome and to make what you're eating. Now, food has a big outplay to your life, because food is what got you in the position that you're in right now. Now, you might say food. Well, lifestyle and food go together, because we don't do certain things once we get past a certain age. Most of us just become a couch potato, or we remote control it, or we're not going to walk anywhere. We're not going to any type of exercise anymore. And the majority of us was athletic at one time. We did a lot of stuff, but we blame it on either getting married or lifestyle changes. But how about to start to live again? How about understanding food, going to the grocery store and not going there hungry, but having a detailed list of what you're going to buy? And the majority, 90% of the items on your list needs to be unprocessed food, fruits and vegetables. Now, as a diabetic, there are some vegetables that we just can't eat. Now, I know what is being said that you can try it. Well, try it will get you in trouble. You have to understand fruits, vegetables. You have to understand how that they come into your system and how they make you feel, how they give you energy, how they oxidize your body, how they have antioxidants, how they give you the calcium, potassium, the minerals, the vitamins that you need to uplift yourself. But the journey is a day to day, because once you start it just takes a matter of time for it all comes together and mushrooms. And what happens after about 14 to 30 days, your body will start to change, and you will start to change, and you would appreciate the look, the new you, and how you feel. Have you ever started a new project, all excited about it, wanting to get it finished, and say, hey, I'm going to look at what's going to look like in a couple of days or a couple of hours, just something simple? Well, remember, you're taking on a new task of the new you. And visualize for a moment what you would look like with no diabetes, 15, 20, 30 pounds lighter, what you would look like feeling healthy, could walk and do things you haven't done in years. Well, how would you feel? Visualize it for a moment. Take a moment and visualize the new you. Take a moment and visualize you've got your health back, your swing back, your swagger back. How does that feel? Well, guess what? You can have all of that back and more. You can live. So when you go to the store, make sensible choices. Learn how to read the back of the box on your food choices. Everything on the front is a lie. Natural. What does natural really mean? Low sodium, low salt. What does that really mean? No carbohydrates. What does that really mean when you're looking at these packages? Fat-free, 98%. What would you realize if some of that food that says fat-free is actually 68 to 90% fat? But if you don't read the back and understand what you're reading, you're lost. Understand, you are the advocate for your life. You have to stop and look at what you're eating, what you're doing every day. If you don't, you're going to get caught up in something that you're not familiar with. You have to understand, when you're invited to places, you have to choose your food wisely. A lot of times I suggest just eat before you go and have something to drink, like some water, when you get there. And kindly say, no, thank you, I'm not hungry at the moment, or I've already eaten. Because you know what? There's no safe person than you. And usually somebody else is around you will wish they had the willpower that you have to be able to turn down some stuff. We must understand the simple way of food control is watching what you eat, but having the right things. And also, you must remove out of your house foods that are tempting to you. Well, you might say, well, I have young children. Still, train them too. I'm not telling you to take all the pleasures of life that we've enjoyed, and now we realize we can't have them. But train them and help them to understand, teach them your surroundings about why you're changing the way you eat and why they should too. And you'll be amazed who will follow suit just like you. But we often think that no one will listen to us because who cares? Well, I can promise you, they do care. It's just a matter of being a creature of habit. Just imagine somebody from the time of birth has never eaten meat. Somebody that's never had sweets in their whole life. Just imagine that type of person. Well, if you try to give them something sweet, it's foreign to them. They're not used to it. They're a creature of habit of their lifestyle. You are a creature of habit of your lifestyle. So understand, it's going to take a moment if you're driving through McDonald's parking lot every morning and grabbing a sandwich and a cup of coffee, and that's your normal. It's going to take a moment if you're going to Church's Chicken and getting chicken every day. It's going to take a moment, whatever your hang-up is or whatever you're liking, it's going to take a moment, but it's not going to kill you. Gradually do baby steps. And as you do the baby steps, you're going to overcome a lot of what is in front of you. Hey, look, you got to understand this food thing. It's addictive. When you're used to eating ice cream, cookies and cakes and pies, and getting what you want win. You know, I was amazed to understand that, do you know a slice of cheesecake is equivalent to eating 2 Whoppers at Burger King? A slice. That's how much fat is in that cheesecake. How many calories in that cheesecake? You know what? Yeah, it tastes good, but what is it doing to you? You know what? You say, well, as a diabetic, I can't have any pleasures of life. You can have the cakes, you can have the pies, but they're made different ways, mostly raw in their natural form. You learn what you can have, what sugars. The only sugar you should be eating, and one is in moderation, is dates in moderation, and stevia in the leaf or in the powder. And that's basically it. And if you get a sweet tooth, get you an apple. Get you a Gala apple and enjoy it. It will kill that sweet tooth, but in time, that sweet tooth will leave you. Understand, you have to remove things out the house that's calling your name. And sometimes I've been there, laying in my bed at night and something in the refrigerator I really wanted, it made me get up, go in there and get it, sit down on my couch in the dark and enjoy it. And then after I ate it, I felt guilty. Is that you too? See, I'm not the only one that goes through that. You feel the same way I feel. But how do we fix that? What do we need to do to make it better that we can enjoy it? Well, as a diabetic, food has to be your number one challenger, number one change, number one issue in understanding I can have a good life, I can have a happy life, I can restore my whole life back from the food that I'm eating and feel better at what I'm doing. We have to make some simple changes, and change sometimes is so hard. Thinking, how do I change my thinking when I'm used to doing this? What are my friends going to think about me eating this new type of food? The majority want to do the same thing you're doing because they're not telling you of all the health problems they have. They're not telling you that they face the same thing. They watch you take your medication. They watch you complain about all the issues. And you might be wondering why they don't complain, because a lot of times they'll listen to you and they don't want to be put in a label like you. I don't want to be talking like that all the time. It seems like it's a nagging situation. But we must do. Because this thing about food changing, we have to get inside your head for a moment. We have to really make your head and your heart come together and realize what I used to do, I can't do no more. I must change. I must learn to live. I must want to be happy. I must be free. Is change simple? No. This food talk it grabs you. It makes you do things that you never thought you would do. It will make you lie and cheat. It'll make you almost steal it, but not really steal it as far as stealing without somebody knowing you got it. But it'll cause you to do things that you're not used to doing because you're a creature of habit. But we can break that food addiction. We can get our life back. We can overcome. You often look around and you say, well, this person's overweight, that person's overweight. But look at the ones that have decided they want their life back. And I'm amazed, and you will be amazed how well they are. But the thing about it, you're warding off health problems. You're getting over your diabetes that offsets high blood pressure, high cholesterol, weight loss, eye problems, neuropathy in the hands and the feet. Just imagine it, no blindness, no foot amputations. Just imagine for a moment how changing some simple things with food in your life can make you a better person. And you'll learn so many kind of ways that you can do things that you just really feel good about. But you have to do it like I did. You have to make the step. You have to reach over and say, enough is enough. I'm tired. I'm tired of not having any breath. I'm tired of not having the clothes I want to wear. I'm tired of not want to go places and not feel embarrassed. I'm tired of not enjoying my family and my children and my grandchildren. I'm just tired of not enjoying myself. I'm tired of sitting in my bed balled up. Is that you? See, food causes us to have a lot of issues what I'm tired of. But the truth is, 15 minutes to 30 minutes or less, you can have a nice meal. You could be sitting down enjoying yourself with a healthy meal because the body will recognize the nutrition and you will get full. Case in point. If you went now and bought a burger, a fry, and a soda, you could drink it and not be full at all. It'd be filling but not full. But if you went and got the same thing in a salad, just a small tossed salad, and take some fresh lemon and put on there, after about 5 to 7 bites, you're full. Well, the body at that point, it's recognized nutrition. So we say, well, what's the difference between the burger, the fries, and the soda? Well, the body did not recognize it as nutrition. It just recognized it as a nutrient, some food going into you. But when you ate the salad, the body says, hey, you're giving me wholesome, nutritious minerals and iron and magnesium, potassium, things that I need to live on that can make me strong. That's the difference. You must understand, if you're going to eat meat, you got to have it baked or broiled. That's some things that you can go into. But think about this. I want you to understand you got to take baby steps to conquer this. Baby steps means you don't cheat, but if you do fall off the wagon, you get back on the wagon. And you quit feeling guilty about yourself, because the only way you're going to get better if you make the decision. It doesn't matter what your spouse say, your girlfriend say, your family say. It only matters what's in your head. Why is it going to be complicated? Because if you're hanging around the things that you're normally doing, you're seeing it. You have to change your environment, change where you eat. I would hope that you would go to the store and come home and prepare it yourself, which is so much simpler. And the good thing about it is, it's so much more nutritious about it. You don't have to worry about feeling bad and have all those pains that you normally go through. It's nothing like having good, nutritious, wholesome food that you prepared yourself. Yes, I've been there. Foods, though. Leafy green vegetables, carrots, zucchini, squash, Brussels sprouts. Think about stuff like that. Red and yellow bell peppers. Just imagine what you could have. Spinach salads, romaine salads. There's so many kind of vegetables and salads and fruits and beans and dishes that you can make that you won't even realize you can have until you embark on this new journey. Well, yeah, you're looking for a quick fix. There's no quick fix because you didn't get this way overnight. And there won't be no fast way over. But I can tell you, if you want to make a severe change, how about reversing diabetes in 30 days? 21 days, you can reverse it. 30 days, you can really reverse it. But in 21 days, you can make some subtle changes. I know you might say, with food and a little exercise, a little rest, a little meditation, a little less stress, you'll be amazed what your body will do. Just imagine for a moment, what's your waist size right now? What's your dress size? Do you want to get to a certain size? Maybe you don't have a weight problem at all. And maybe you just want to just get your diabetes under control. It's dealing with lifestyle. See, we are misled to think that everybody that's obese or big has diabetes. Well, that's not true. There are just as many little people or skinny people that are medium built people that has diabetes as people that's obese. It's like heart disease the same way. There's a lot of people that's small, skinny, don't weigh anything, got major heart problems and high blood pressure. See, it's not a size thing, it's a lifestyle change. Well, you might be saying, well, how do I change it? What do I do? Well, the first thing, you got to decide when you want to start. And I hope it's today with food. You got to make a goal, and that goal have to be a 30-day, a 60-day, a 90-day, and on. And you have to say, where do I want to be 5 years from now? But I don't want you to go that far because I want you to think about today. What do you want to be 1 year from the day with your diabetes? How about in 2 weeks be diabetes free, or 90 or 21 days? Now, you still have to have a lifestyle change. You can't embark on this new way of life and get well and say, well, I'm going to go back to my creature of habit ways. Well, you're going to have another problem. There's nothing like health. There's nothing like you regaining everything that you lost and gaining some back. You're going to be another person. You're going to look totally different. You're going to feel totally different. You're going to walk totally different. You're going to talk totally different. And people are going to see you totally different. You're going to be amazed how you're going to unage because your body now is taking on a new metamorphosis of living. You're going to be amazed at how great you really are. You know what? You are the captain of the ship. You decide what goes in the ship's engine. So today, decide what's going to go in your engine, and let's make that change at this moment. Let's make a change that I'm going to live for me. I'm not going to worry about somebody else. I'm going to do what's best for me, and I'm going to be happy. I challenge you, 21 days, diabetics, diabetes free. I challenge you to cut out the fast food, the burgers, the sodas, the sweets. I challenge you to try a plant-based lifestyle for 14 days. I challenge you to eat some more salads twice a day. I challenge you to understand what zucchini and broccoli is. I challenge you to understand what cauliflower is. I challenge you to understand how that you can incorporate beans into a nice burrito that's not going to be fattening and cause your glycemic index to raise. I challenge you to have black eyed peas. I challenge you to have kidney beans made into a chili or a pinto bean chili. I challenge you to have some red beans and rice. See, these foods you can have, but you can have them in a way that's healthy. I challenge you to decide, I'm going to embark on this new way of life. What is it going to take for you to make your changes? You decide today. There's nothing like this moment. You've been deciding for years that you're going to make a change, but you've been putting it off because things keep coming up and stopping you from doing the things you want to do. Well, now is the time to decide enough is enough. Write down, today is the beginning of the rest of my life. Because, you know, it used to be a time when people that got over 50 thought they was old, but now 50 just living. I don't know what your age is, but I look at life. Life is dying from old age, in the bed, in the sleep. Now, that's life. Old age. Now, what's old age? Old age is anything over 100. And somebody 100 don't think they're old. You see what just happened? They'll want to go a lot longer too if they can. But it depends on what you're doing with your body and your lifestyle. What are you eating? I'm not telling you it's going to be fun, but I'm telling you you're going to get your life back. I'm not telling you not to do it. I want you to do it. I want you to take advantage and do this today. If you got to find some nutritionist, somebody, find them. Go to my website. I have free information that can help you understand food and nutrition, understand what to prepare. Sometimes that's the part that gets us in trouble. Okay, I'm a diabetic, but what do I really eat? What do I eat in the morning? Do I skip breakfast? Do I eat it? No, you have to eat breakfast. There's nothing wrong with eating a bowl of oatmeal and some blueberries, some blackberries. It's nothing wrong with that. Toss with some walnuts if you want them on top. It's not wrong with eating an apple in the middle of the day. It's nothing wrong with grabbing a nice salad. It's nothing wrong with understanding what foods you can eat and what foods you can't. You say, why can't I eat all the foods as I'm reversing my diabetes? Well, because your system, even though it's going to heal of it, if you go back to being a creature of habit, that don't matter what you're doing, you're going to have a problem. It's almost being a drag racer when you was a teenager. And you got away with it, but you cause problems still. Well, if you become a drag racer as an adult, you're going to cause problems still too. There's some things we just don't do that gets us in trouble, but it seems comfortable and it seems that we like doing them. Listen, let's be real about it. Foods are very appealing. As you watch your favorite show, food always passes on TV. As you listen to your radio show, food always passes. As you look at your favorite magazine, food always included. If you're reading a book, they're talking about food. Whatever you're involved in, food is always in the mix. It's caused us a comfort issue. It's a comfort item. But with 79 million pre-diabetics and 26.5 diabetics, and it's growing every day, we must change that number. And you have to change it yourself. And you have to be off the list. Off the list and having your life back. Statistically, you can live. Statistically, you can add life back to your life. Statistically, you can add a lot of time back to your life. But statistically, you can die sooner than you think if you don't reverse some things that you're doing. Is it going to be comfortable? No. Is it going to be hard? Yes. How hard? Hard as you want it to be. And see, the only time it will be hard if you put pressure on yourself. Don't put pressure on yourself. Learn to live for you today. Take the challenge. 21 days to greatness. Food. Understanding what greens I can have, what beans I can have, what lentils I can have. Understand that I must drink water every day. Purified water all day long. Half your body weight or till you get full. But remember this about water. If you're eating fresh vegetables all day long, you're getting quite a bit of water in those vegetables. So really, you might think you don't like water, but you're getting a lot of them in the vegetables. What are you going to do? Hey, let's make a decision right now. Let's make a pact. Say, Chef Timothy, I'm going to work with you on getting my life under control. I'm going to reverse this diabetes. I'm going to start eating what's good for me at this moment. I'm going to make some changes. If that's what you want to do, I'm going to call the action. A call to action plan is you go to my website, ChefTimothyMoore.com, and you sign in for those free recipes. Look at the books and things that I'm offering. Look at the videos, read the blogs, get educated, read other people's blogs, go search the books, read what's good for you. But remember, apply to your life what's for you though. Because everything that you read and try ain't for you. What one person might get away with, you might not get away with it. So you remember this. Today is the beginning of the rest of your life. And don't let anyone ever tell you anything different. So today is beginning, the new beginning of the rest of your life. So go out there and tell food you are in control. And guess what? You have just won the battle of living and reversing that diabetes.